Through the Bamboo Fence. A story of survival, motherhood, and freedom. Her name was Sop Hee. She was just a teenager when the Khmer Rouge tore Cambodia apart. Her village, once full of laughter and rice fields, turned to silence and smoke. Her parents disappeared during a forced evacuation. Her brothers never came back from the rice cooperatives. And her childhood ended the day soldiers told her to dig graves instead of going to school. By 1980, the regime had fallen, but nothing felt safe. The country was shattered. Mines in the ground. Fear in every corner. So, like thousands of others, Sop Hee walked, for days, through jungle paths and muddy trails, carrying only hope and a baby tied to her back. She crossed into Thailand and arrived at Khao I Dang, a refugee camp near the border. There were tents and fences, rice lines and barbed wire. But there was no killing, no shouting soldiers. There was life. And soon, Sop Hee had 2 children. Rithi, a quiet 5-year-old boy with deep eyes. Chantha, 3 years old, bright and always smiling. But her husband, Vuthi, was not a man of strength. He had lost his will during the war. Maybe it was trauma. Maybe cowardice. Maybe both. At first, he helped, gathering firewood, holding the children. But after a few months in the camp, he found rice wine from traders. And he never stopped drinking after that. Every day, Sop Hee stood in line for rationed rice and tinned fish. Every night, Vuthi stumbled back drunk, sometimes violent, always useless. He sold what little they had. Once, even the blanket the children shared. Sop Hee begged him to stop. He cursed her. She cried, but only when the children were asleep. And so, the days became heavy. She stitched donated clothes to earn a few baht. She helped nurses translate Khmer to Thai. She shared what she had with other mothers in the same misery. But the more she carried, the less she could take. Until one night, when Vuthi raised his hand to Rithi. That was the moment. Not the hunger. Not the shouting. Not the broken promises. It was seeing her child flinch in fear from his own father that made Sop Hee decide. She whispered to her children that night, "Tomorrow, we leave. We run. We don't tell Papa." The escape. Before sunrise, she packed the only things they had. A torn scarf, some dried fish, 2 bottles of water, and a small photo of her mother, kept hidden all these years. She wrapped Rithi and Chantha in thin sweaters, tied a sarong tight around her waist, and waited for the camp guards to change shift. Then, in silence, she took her children's hands and slipped through a gap in the bamboo fence, covered by plastic sheets and tall weeds. They walked for hours, avoiding roads, hiding from patrols. No destination, no map. Just the knowledge that anywhere was better than back there. A new beginning. After days of walking, hungry and exhausted, they were taken in by a small Thai temple. The monks gave them rice porridge and a place to rest under the Buddha statue. Later, a volunteer from an aid organization helped Sop Hee register for resettlement. Months later, they were flown to Canada, a country she had never heard of, with snow she had never imagined. She worked as a cleaner. She learned English. She raised Rithi and Chantha alone. Rithi grew up to be a social worker, helping immigrants. Chantha became a teacher, sharing their story through poetry. And Sop Hee. She planted lemongrass and chili in her small garden and smiled. She never remarried. She never regretted leaving. Because survival wasn't just about escaping the war. It was escaping what the war left behind, even if that meant running from someone you once loved. "I ran not because I was weak," she told her daughter one day, but because I was the only one strong enough to save you.